this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. I am here today to have a bit of a play with Rachel over at Roxy Creations, her weekly challenge. So I will include the hashtag, I think it's hashtag Roxy's weekly challenge, but I will double check that obviously before using it. But I saw her video recently where all she's doing is doing as many things, you know, of one particular item within about 45 minutes. So the one that I saw, I think was her first one, and it's tags. So she's doing book page tags. So I've brought along some book pages here, and I've brought along kind of a variety of different ones so that hopefully we'll get some different sort of looks and things. And then I've brought along this. I've received this lovely 6x6 pad in Happy Mail, and I thought, you know, as soon as I saw it in Happy Mail, I had thought instantly this would be fantastic for backing tags onto. So with my kind of new thing for this year, trying not to hoard things, trying to use Happy Mail items and things, I'm going to actually use this to back the tags on. So I'm just going to tear out a few different backgrounds. Don't want to have them all the same. And Rachel did say that, you know, there's no kind of rules or anything. I mean, book page tags, and that's just as loose as it is. So, you know, then completely up to your interpretation, you know, what you do with those tags and things. So that's awesome. So, yeah, I'm just going to have a play around and we'll just see, you know, what we can come up with within 45 minutes. And it's not kind of like a, you know, a timer and, you know, get ready, set, go or anything like that. It's just kind of approximately 45 minutes and just making a bunch of tags basically. So, yeah, I'm not going to probably be able to join in every week. I'm going to kind of hopefully dip in and out, but it's a fantastic idea for a challenge. So I'm just going to kind of, yeah, just dip in and out sort of, you know, as and when I can really. So, but thank you so much, Rachel, for putting that challenge out there. It sounds like fun. And hopefully lots of guys will join in. So I'm just going to cut my tag shapes first, I think. And then I can back them onto the book page. Now, Rachel was quite efficient. She was using like 2 book pages glued together. So, you know, you've got different options of how you want to back your tags. I mean, these, I just thought these are perfect because obviously it's 6x6 paper, which, you know, that's pretty good size for tags. I mean, they're not going to be huge, great big tags or anything like that, but, you know, they don't really need to be. And, yeah, I thought that I would cut these first because I don't want to have kind of them stuck in the wrong places, if you see what I mean. So, yeah, hopefully by doing them, you know, cutting the tags first and then gluing them down onto the book page, I'm hopefully going to get sort of a good variety. And let's hope I've made an okay job of that because I didn't take those corners across, so it might be terrible. But I can always tidy, obviously, the shapes up in a moment, so... Okay, right, I'm probably being way too optimistic. I think she made 5, you know, which was pretty good going, wasn't it? So, yeah, I'd be surprised if I can even do 5, to be honest. But we'll see. Maybe I will surprise myself. Okay, so like this book page, it's not the biggest book page. I mean, these are all vintage book pages, but I mean, it's not the biggest. So, for instance, there, I'm only going to get 1 tag out of that book page. So hence why I needed to cut the page down first, because obviously, you know, if I just tried to glue the 6x6 down, I'm not going to actually have enough to, you know, cover the 6x6 base, if you see what I mean. There wouldn't be enough. Sorry, being super messy, just wiping the glue on the back of my hand, because that's going to enable me to be a little bit quicker than being really neat and tidy and, you know, trying to mop it up neatly with a wipe. So just kind of getting my tags down on the bases. So just turn it over and do one on the back. I'll just move that one to one side. Okay, let's take this one. And we will just put this one down on here. Yeah, I mean, any method is fine for making tags, and to be honest, you know, I kind of vary my methods of making tags depending on, I guess, the pages that or papers that I'm using, and you know, things like that. So I mean, if I were using an A4 sheet, for instance, I quite often would just, you know, stick my papers down maybe in tag shape onto the A4 page, or you know, maybe just put an entire page down. You know, just depends really what I'm backing them on. This for me was all because I was using the 6x6 pages, and you know, my book page, like I say, would not be actually thick enough, big enough to be able to do them like multiple ones together. So now these, yeah, I probably still want the text kind of right way up, if you see what I mean. So I'm just going to glue those down like that. Okay. Yeah, and as I say, I mean, I am using all vintage book pages here, so we've got some really nice kind of coloration on the book pages. And hopefully, well, I was going to say hopefully I won't have to be quite so careful about the words on the book pages, but having said that, this particular book is a war book, which I know that I showed this, I think, when I first bought it. It was at the end of the lockdown, you know, when it was kind of like, yay, you can finally go out and go into some shops again. I bought it then, and of course, obviously being a war themed book, I mean, it's the First World War in colour, I think it is. I have to be a bit careful, because rather than kind of looking for, you know, like swear words and naughty words, it might have lots of kind of things like killing and shooting and, you know, being killed and things like that. So, you know, although I don't have to watch for naughty words, I just have to be a little bit careful, because it might have other words that maybe are not, you know, not really what you want in your journals. So yeah, I'm not going to worry now, but I guess when I'm sticking my pieces on, you know, I might have to just be a bit careful that I cover up any words that aren't all that nice. So there we go. Oops. And again, Rachel, I mean, I know that she always uses glue stick, and I know that I've talked about this often before. I mean, she uses something called, I think it's Giotto glue. I've never seen that over here. Maybe it's available on Amazon. I haven't really ever looked. I mean, to be honest, I did try Yoo-hoo glue, because lots of people had recommended that. I didn't find I got on brilliantly using a glue stick. Nothing to do with the stickability of the glue. I just wasn't really great at using it. It kind of like went everywhere, and yeah, I wasn't very good. So for me, I think probably I should just stick to my wet glue. And I often do get people ask, you know, what glue do I use? I always really use the Anita's tacky glue, even despite the troubles that I have sometimes actually getting it to squeeze out of the bottle. Although, touch wood, that seems to, you know, have been rectified with the transfer in the glue into the Sugar Bell icing bottles. So yeah, I always use the Anita's tacky glue, you know, for paper things, really. Have done for years. I mean, like literally, like probably, oh, I don't know, 15 years. It really is just the glue that I find the best. It really sticks very well. And yeah, I really like to know that my things are really well stuck down. So that's the glue I always use. And since having so many troubles with actually getting it to come out of the bottle, boo, hello gorgeous. With all the troubles that I've had getting it out of the bottle, I do transfer it into these Sugar Bell icing bottles. Now, I was lucky enough to receive some in Happy Mail a while back, but to be honest, I loved them so much that I have then since bought some more, and I got mine from Amazon, because I know that lots of people ask about those. And yeah, as soon as I buy my glue, I just pour it straight into those Sugar Bell icing bottles. Every now and then, you know, I just rinse one out when it's kind of needing a bit of a rinse. And yeah, touch wood, it's kind of fixed my well, I don't like to even speak too soon, but touch wood, it seems to have helped with the getting the glue to squeeze out. So yeah, that's the glue story. Right, just cutting my tags down. Sorry about that, my daughter just quickly came up and then was distracting me a little bit. She's popped back downstairs now, so she was just tapping me on the shoulder, you know, like kids do. Okay, there we go. And then I'll just cut these couple out. I mean, isn't this 6x6 paper pad? It's just perfect, isn't it, for tags? I mean, literally, as soon as I received it in Happy Mail, as soon as I saw it, I thought, that's perfect for backing tags. And it really is, isn't it? Because it's lovely and neutral. It's even got lines on a lot of those pages. So it's, you know, just awesome for tags and journal cards and things. Okay, so just getting my basic tags done. So I apologise for the boring, you know, cutting out of tags, but I mean, obviously that was part of the challenge, I guess, was kind of as many as you could make in the 45 minutes. So, you know, Rachel did make all of hers on video. It maybe would be a little bit cheaty to come on with my ready-made bases. So, and hopefully it's not been too painful. So we're nearly done. We've only got 2 more left to go. Like I say, I've probably been way over ambitious here. I suspect I won't even get, well, I might not even get 3 done, who knows, but I have brought along a whole bunch of stuff for decorating, and we'll just see how we get on. But it's quite nice to have, you know, a challenge kind of set that just takes the thinking out of it. It's kind of like, oh, this is the challenge. This is what I need to do. So, yeah. There's lots of challenges going around at the moment, I think. Lots and lots of challenges. You know, which is awesome, obviously. Okay. Okay, right, that's my tags. So get rid of these book pages. Okay, all into my carrier bag beside me. That's it. Right, let's get going. So I'm just going to lay kind of a couple out, and then we can, you know, hopefully kind of lay some stuff out on them whilst we're doing them. So I'll put them like that, and then I've got sort of my variety of different book pages. Okay, so what have I brought along? Well, I've got a whole variety of things. So I'm going to just literally, I've got my ephemera box here to the side, and I also have brought along my stamped items, which I kind of rediscovered in my Tidy Friday recently. And then these little scraps. I don't know whether I will really use many of these, but I'm going to just kind of see how I go. Now, what I've also got, because Rachel was using quite a lot of vellum, so she could try and keep the book page very visible. So I happen to have some pieces printed on acetate because I had been doing a project recently for a video which hasn't gone up yet, but yeah, I had printed off some sheets of acetate, and I thought, wow, that's going to be perfect because it's not that dissimilar to the vellum. So I'm just going to cut out a few of these little bits from this acetate. So, okay, right. So first of all, right, let me put my glasses down actually. Right, the only thing is with cutting these acetate shapes out, particularly when they're this type of colour rather than just black outline, it's very hard to see where you're cutting, you know, where the edges need to be. So I probably will be making a really hideous job of cutting these out, but There we go, there's one. Oops, got that the wrong way up. Nearly had a back to front clock there. Right, I've got this one with the building. Okie dokie. So I hope everyone's doing well. Hopefully you're all having a good day. How many of you guys are doing Rachel's weekly challenge? I need to go onto Instagram really. I very rarely get kind of the chance to go on there. But yeah, I should go on there because of course maybe lots of people have posted things on there that I've not seen. It's a bit like all these things, you see, once I go on there, it kind of zaps up loads of time because then I get completely caught up in all the wonderful things that people are showing on there. So yeah, it's like probably best that I don't go on there too often. I'm going to cut this in half because then hopefully I can have like two tags using this. And actually I'm just going to remove that typewriter because I'm not quite sure that I want to have that now. So yeah, I really quite like these bits, how I've got them here. So just fidgeting around on my chair, so excuse that fidgeting about. Let's see what else I've got. So the other things that I've got some of these printed onto acetate. I was just kind of having a play really with the acetate because I do love how acetate looks, I must say. It just adds a complete different, you know, feel to things. And I managed to get some acetate a few weeks ago from Amazon. I can't remember how much it was. I can't remember. I don't think it was that cheap, but it wasn't kind of awful. It might have been about £11 or something. Yeah, and I just thought that's going to be really fun because I just love, like I say, the different kind of things that you can do with acetate, because obviously they produce a completely different look to, you know, anything else. And I like the contrast between the kind of matte, you know, paper and then the kind of shiny, like sort of acetate finish. It makes it really quite fun. So, and the clocks and the buildings here, they are from my Moonlit Moments ephemera part of the kit. And these ones here, these are from my Paris note cards and envelope set. So in case you were, you know, wondering what I was kind of using. So there we go. Right. Okay. Let's have a bit of a look and see what I've got here. So I've got some stamps. I've got these ones, which I found recently in my Tidy Friday, actually. So I'm just thinking this would be quite nice maybe on one or two of these. So let's just pull in my black stays on. Again, I'm not really too sure how great this is because I think this is quite old now. So I might just stamp it off just to check how well it's coming out. I need to order a new one. Okay, yeah, it's not brilliant, but it will improve the more I stamp it. Let me just see whether I've got another one because I don't throw them out for a long time. So it might be that my other old one is kind of better than this old one, if you see what I mean. No, I don't think either are going to be brilliant, but yeah, I can't find the other one anyway. That's not great, is it? Let me just try my Timber Brown, which actually, to be honest, you know, is pretty dark anyway. So it might be that actually it's, you know, more juicy and yeah. So, I mean, it's slightly darker, so just going to go for that instead. So let's just do this one here. Okay. And then I'm just going to do this one at the bottom of this. Oh, I don't know what happened with my words there. Okay. Right, let's just pop the lid back on. Might as well put this out. So yeah, I think I'd had that stays on for about a year, so quite a while. Right, okay. So let's bring these in. And then what I'm thinking is some of my stamped little pieces here. Oops. We could maybe kind of incorporate somehow. So like that. I mean, I think that looks really quite nice, to be honest. And then what I could do is obviously, you know, glue this down over the top, and that's kind of a great way to attach my acetate without it looking, you know, so as you see the glue. So I'm just going to pop some glue. I'm just going to use my hot glue because, again, that's just lovely and quick. So I'm just going to pop that down underneath that clock, like that. Just add that down. I should have really inked this tag first, but never mind. And then I'm just going to pop this down on top. Like that. Okay, so that looks really pretty, doesn't it? And then I've got some words and things on here. What does that say? Inspired. Could just have kind of inspired or something up there. So let's just move that out of the way. I'm thinking maybe a little bit more stamping would be quite nice here. So let's just pull my stamps back in. Maybe this one. Pull that back in, and again I'm just going to stamp it off over here. Oh look, I've already been filming for 22 minutes and I've really achieved nothing at all so far. At this rate I'll be lucky to get one tag done. I don't know about 5, but yeah, lucky to get one done. Okay, right, that's that, and then I'm just going to do another stamp here, like that. So that's quite pretty, isn't it? And then what I'll do, oops, just going to rough up those edges. Like that. And as with all these things, you know, I mean, fingers crossed anyway, I was about to say, just make a sweeping statement, but you never can quite tell. But, you know, hopefully just as soon as I ink this, it's going to transform it. So, you know, if you're thinking it looks really rubbish at the moment, I'm hoping it's going to be completely transformed with the inking. So, yeah, I actually don't like that stamp, to be honest, which I've stamped up there. So kind of wishing I hadn't really done that. But never mind. So I'm just going to ink around the edges there. Oops, now what have I done with my ink pad? It's over there. I've got all these different containers now, you see, all over my desk, so it's making it pretty tricky to see anything at all. And I'm just using my vintage photo. It obviously goes great with those acetate pieces because, of course, they're in kind of shades of brown and things. And, you know, then I'm just using those buff coloured stamped pieces, which again, you know, they're all quite browny. So the vintage photo just, you know, works really nicely on there. Yeah, I'm going to just cover that up a little bit because, yeah, I don't like that stamp at all. For this, I mean, it maybe would be quite nice on other things, but not really loving it for this, to be honest. So I'm just going to hot glue this down. And hopefully that will just stick that doily down as well. Okay. Gosh, can you hear that wind? It's so windy today. Yeah, definitely, I don't think we're going to be having any kind of walk or anything today. It's really blowing a gale out there. Okay, so that's quite nice, isn't it? And then, I mean, I have got some flowers and things which I could use on here, I guess. Let's just cut that out. Oh, again, I should really put my glasses on. They're only on top of my head, but I can't even be bothered to pull them down. Just hoping for the best here, hoping for the best. Literally can't see at all, like, where the edge of this flower is. So just, you know, yeah, just cutting some sort of random shape out and just hoping it then vaguely resembles, you know, a flower of some sort. I mean, it's quite kind of, you know, merging in with that book page. I'm not really too sure that it looks overly like a flower, to be honest. If I'm truthful, I'm not sure. Yeah, not too sure. But I guess, well, maybe we could have something like this here. Yeah, maybe that. Yeah, let's do that. So just pop that down there. And then just pop this one down. Okay, so I just rounded those corners because I thought that actually I quite fancied this tag with some rounded corners. Just going to, again, just ink around those a bit. Okay, so that looks really pretty. Yeah, I like that. Okay, I'm going to put that to one side. Again, you know, Rachel said that she would probably stitch hers, but she was going to stitch them after the video. So, you know, again, I might do the same as her and stitch my tags after the video, because then that's not, you know, encroaching on my 45 minutes, which will obviously then give me more time to, you know, to get the tags done. So, yeah, I think I'll do that. Right. Now, I'm sure I just cut down a bright pink rose, and of course now I can't see it anywhere. Well, I might have to just go for that orange one that I had just now. Was not the one that I was hoping for. Oh, there it is, look. So again, kind of thinking, let's just take those leaves off there. Yeah, that's quite pretty, isn't it? And again, you know, the beauty of this is obviously the rosebud, it just then, you know, covers up where I'm going to be gluing this down. So we'll just then add a bit of glue there. Pop that down in there. Oops. I mean, to be honest, the glue's pretty good. You know, the acetate kind of covers it up quite a bit. I mean, you can't really see that glue at all, other than the fact it's a little bit raised where that hot glue is. The hot glue really isn't showing at all. So, I mean, to be honest, you could get away with it, you know, without actually trying to cover it up at all. But, you know, if you wanted to cover it up, then just doing things like this, I think, are just, you know, a great way to cover it up. So I might have to pull in my coloured inks here again, like I did recently when we made some tags, because I've got this picked raspberry, which I thought actually, I mean, this is very, very bright. I haven't used this, I think, for a while, but it's very, very bright. You know, I can remember how bright it is. So what I'm going to do is, I think, you know, ink it over. I'm just looking for some sort of sponge that I've used recently with some pinks. Okay. And then I'm going to probably have to go over this with Vintage Photo to tone it right down, because oh, it's not coming out too bad actually on that book page. I thought it was going to look a lot worse. Okay. And then we can obviously have our flower here, like that. And then again, let's have another little stamped item, because I just love, you know, love the fact that we discovered these just the other day, or rediscovered these just the other day. And, you know, this just seems like the perfect place to actually use a bunch of them. I mean, when I say a bunch of them, I mean, it's not like it's going to make a blind bit of difference to that drawer. It's still going to be literally full to the brim of stamped pieces, but, you know, it just seems crazy not to use them, doesn't it? Yeah, so I quite like that, like that. Okay, put the love on there as well. And then I've got some other bright pink flowers, which not sure about those. No. Well, I guess we could have this. Let me just tear that kind of off there. Oh, didn't make a very good job of that, did I? Okay. So again, you know, not too worried. Nobody really knows what shape that flower was. So like that. Pretty sure it must go that way up. So we could have that there. So I'm just going to ink that up here with the vintage photo to get into that little gap. Yeah, I quite like how that's looking. And then we could have something else along there as well from my stamped pieces. So I'm just having a quick rummage through here, seeing what else I might have, you know, that would be ideal. Again, hopefully in the brownie colour. I mean, I've got that plain type stamp that maybe would look quite good. I've got another cameo here. I love cameo you know, pieces. I think they're really, really nice. So yeah, perhaps I'll do something like that. Yep, that looks really nice. So I'm going to put her down first. I really apologise, but I have no idea. I think she might have been a Prima stamp. I've had her for a really long time, I'm afraid. Yeah, no longer in her packaging, but I think she might have been Prima. And the other one, the bigger one that I used, you know, previously, oh, again, no idea. It's not in the packaging, and yeah, really no idea with that one. This one, possibly Prima. The other one, yeah, really, you know, clearly no idea whatsoever, I'm afraid. But, you know, if you just kind of Google cameo stamps, you know, cameo clear stamp sets or something, probably you would get something similar-ish come up, I would imagine. So yeah, have a look if you're, you know, wanting to look for where those stamps are or what those stamps are. I've had them for years, so you know whether or not they would even still be available. But having said that, again, you know, you can so often get things on eBay when they've been discontinued ordinarily. So you know, it's worth always having a look. So that's that one, and I suddenly remembered I had forgotten to ink the back of this, didn't I? Okay. Okie dokie. Right, so I've done two. I'm not doing very well, am I? Let's pull in another one. So I might as well use the other half of that building. So again, just going to kind of go around this one first, I think, this time with the vintage photo. Okie dokie. And then just a bit at the back. Well, I guess I can take off 5 minutes for just, you know, rambling on at the beginning of the video, because I didn't really kind of get started for a few minutes. So we'll say I've got kind of 15 minutes left probably. So again, might just kind of have this building with some flowers, to be honest. I think would look quite lovely. Those are quite nice. And, you know, they're a completely different look then to those other flowers, aren't they? I mean, we could have the roses, and they're quite nice. Oh, it's a tough decision sometimes, isn't it? Well, I'm going to just have them like that, I think. So again, just going to kind of glue this down here. Hello, gorgeous. Oh, it looks good, darling. She's been doing her hair downstairs, and I have talked about her hair before. It's kind of a nightmare, isn't it?
Make it better. Watch this.
It looks lovely. Okie dokie. Right, let's just.
I'm going to do this. It's going to look beautiful after this.
There we go. So that's quite pretty, isn't it? And you know, again, I can kind of stitch around the edge, and that will look really good. Oh, that looks gorgeous, darling. I mean, I could kind of couple it with the other roses as well, or the other flowers as well. I'm not sure. You know, I wouldn't normally do that, but I am trying to be a little bit more little bit more adventurous these days. So let's just again go in here and just glue that down like that. So I'm just going to kind of pull this up to the camera to just show you. So even there, where to be honest, oops, there's not a lot going on in that background, that glue still really is not particularly visible. So, you know, it's pretty good, to be honest, to be able to just hot glue down. That's quite a good solution. Okie dokie, so I'm going to have that on there. Okay. Yeah, love how that looks. Oh, it looks pretty. Right, and just then a bit more ink, I think, around on there. And then, shall we have a word or something from my stamped items? I've got this word here, beautiful. A little bit creased up, but that's fine. Should we have that? Maybe just there. I think that's quite pretty. Okay, so again, just going to kind of glue that down with the hot glue. Like that. Okay, and I didn't stamp at all on that background. That one was a naked background, just the book page. Yeah, looks super pretty, doesn't it? So that's that one. So we're up to 3 now. So we're still not doing great, but never mind. So I've got another clock here, or do we want anything else? What did I do with that? Ah, here we go. So we've got these kind of black and white Paris labels. Maybe it looks better on that colour. And then I've got these. Now these labels are not black and white, you know, in the flesh. I printed them in black and white for the acetate version because I thought they would look really cool with the acetate. So, oh, you look beautiful, darling. She's, yeah, just experimenting around with her hair because I know I've talked a lot about her hair in the past, but we have a struggle with your hair, don't we, to say the least. It's pretty hairy, isn't it? It's pretty temperamental, her hair. So,
I like this a lot.
Oh,
That one's beautiful.
gorgeous, isn't it? We do struggle quite a bit with her hair, but yeah, she's kind of experimenting a little bit, doing her own hair at the moment. So, thank goodness. Thank the Lord. I can't wait for her to be able to do it herself because we have a lot of tears going on when we're doing her hair. Yeah, lots of tears. Which, of course, I can remember, you know, lots of tears when my mum used to do my hair. And my hair is, you know, could not be any straighter or more simple to do. So, you know, it must really be quite horrible for my daughter, I'm sure. Oops, I'm just stamping this off. Now, I've had lots of people, you know, with great tips about when your stamps are quite new and they're, you know, like doing that sticky thing where they're not stamping perfectly. I mean, one person did suggest sandpaper, and I'm not quite brave enough to do that. But, you know, maybe I should. So, just going to, whoops, stamp over there. And then a little bit over here. Really nice. Really nice. So this one's going to hopefully be a bit more of a monotone one. We'll see. So this is going to go on here like that. Now for this one, I think what I'm going to do is just literally, yeah, I'm going to have to glue it down here. Now, again, I'm not sure, I will be honest, I'm not sure my sewing machine is going to love this if I then try and stitch it. So I'm going to try not to put too much hot glue on there. Like that. I mean, actually, we could even just just glue it on the other edge. In fact, I could go around with the sewing machine and stitch the other edge, to be honest. So I'm just going to cut this edge off. And then this acetate flower, which again is in, you know, printed in black and white kind of neutral colours. So let's just, again, ink this up a bit. Okay, and on the back as well. Mustn't forget about the back this time. Okie dokie. Oops. Or maybe I prefer that up here. I've also got some stamped Eiffel Towers and things like that. So let me just have a quick look through and find one. Here we go. That's quite nice, isn't it? Looks gorgeous, darling. Or have it that side. That's quite nice, isn't it? Yeah, I quite like how that looks, to be honest. So I might just have that little Eiffel Tower there. Again, I can probably just then do a little dab of glue there. And of course, now that I'm covering this up with the Eiffel Tower, I really needn't have bothered actually gluing that edge down at all, because I could have caught that with the sewing machine. But, you know, these things are not always kind of evident at the time, are they? And then I might just have that flower there, which I will just glue a little bit in the middle. That hopefully will just pop that down like that. And then should we have another flower? It might not really show up very well, but let's give it a try. So I'm just going to cut out another one. Okay, oops, put my glasses on for this one. Oops. So again, you know, like I always say, nobody knows what shape this flower was. So I really, you know, I'm not going to panic too much about getting it too perfect. And actually I'm going to cut that little bud straight off that was kind of to the side of it. Like that. Now, can you even see that that's still a flower? That's the question. I quite like it even like that, weirdly enough. Oops. I mean, I know that is covering up some of the Eiffel Tower, which, you know, maybe that's a little bit weird, but I quite liked it. Might have that there. And then just wondering from my numbers whether I've got some numbers that would look good on this. So let me just grab my numbers now. Oh, that's quite nice on there. Yeah, I quite like that one on there. So again, let me just ink that up. I mean, obviously it is kind of black, so it's probably not making a great deal of difference inking it, but well, there. I mean, I could even staple it on, to be honest. Might be quite fun. And, sometimes it's just so tough to decide, isn't it? Do you know, I'm thinking for this one, I'm going to staple this on, and then when I do my stitching, I will try and obviously avoid going down this edge. So I'm just going to staple this on here, and then I think what I'm going to do is actually staple this flower as well. There. Like that. They look quite nice, don't they? Yeah, I quite like how that looks. Right, okay, so let's see if we can do one more. Oh, I don't think we've got really time. We're at 44 minutes. Bearing in mind, I did say about we've got 5 minutes grace because, you know, I must have waffled for 5 minutes, I'm sure. So let's just rough this up again. Okay, this has got a splodge of ink already on it. So, yep, I've obviously got this messy already. So we'll just put this here. Now for this one, I've got some of my butterfly film strips. And yeah, again, these are printed on acetate, which I just thought, well, this is going to be perfect for this, you know, the book page tags. So let's just trim that down. Okay. Right. Oh, that's quite nice, kind of just, you know, on the other way up, isn't it? And, you know, I never would have done that, to be honest, ordinarily, but for some reason, just fancy doing that. And actually, now wondering whether if we had that in the middle, could we put some doily or something? Let me just pull off a little piece of doily. Going like to the side. And I'm thinking kind of cut the, you know, the tag shapes. That might be quite fun. Should we do that? Let's do something really different to what we've done before. So cut that corner and that one. Okay. Just rough those up because the others have been roughed up, so they might be a bit strange if they're not. Okay. Just ink it up first. Okay. Like that. We'll just ink up the back as well. They're a little bit soggy because of the glue still, but that's fine. They will be fine. So I'm thinking we could have it kind of like that, running down the middle. You know, for just something completely different to what we've done on the other tags, really. And then let's just see. Oops, that I've obviously peeled that off of something else. I mean, we could even, you know, mix it up with some bright things. I mean, I would never in a million years do that normally, but I'm all for mixing it up today for some reason. Yeah, don't know why suddenly today, but sometimes you just kind of, you know, fancy doing something completely different, don't you? I mean, that's quite nice, to be honest. Bit of a safer choice, perhaps. Let's just ink that up a bit. And again, you know, I mean, I could use some ink around the edge or something to bring that together. Would be quite nice. Or, yeah, I've got this ink pad here. Candied apple. This might be completely the wrong colour, actually, but yeah, it's looking very red, isn't it? Let's have a look. So just quickly having a look to see what swirly type stamp, or actually I've got a postmark stamp here. Let's just see what colour that looks. Not too bad, actually. Should we do that? So I'm just going to put that, I think, up there. Maybe, right, let's get this stuck down. Oops. Okay. So I just want to kind of make sure it's, you know, roughly where I wanted it. So have that like that, and this reddy flower kind of down there, I think. And then would we want something else red? Thinking maybe a red postage stamp might be quite nice. Just have a look. I'll bring in my postage stamps. I think these are more brown really than red, but oh, maybe in luck. Oh, I love the way this is still on that envelope. Isn't that just scrumptious? Oh dear. So I just wonder whether we could even just have that And is that just really like huge on there? You know, still being on the envelope like that. But there's something about it that I really, really love. Oh, let's just see. I do really like that, to be honest. I think that looks really, really good. Oh, let's go for that, because I could be here all day otherwise. So I'm just going to kind of take this and put it down here. And then this one here, we're just going to have like that. So again, just for speed, I'm going to just hot glue this one down. I mean, that just, what a treasure to find it still on the brown envelope. Okay. Yeah, love how that looks. And then should we have a little bit of red inking, I'm thinking. I'm thinking a bit of red inking. And do we want anything from the stamped box? So let's just have a quick look in here. Got these little thingies. They're quite nice, aren't they? And actually, we could even have that. Oh, it doesn't look that good underneath there, to be honest. Perhaps we'll have that there. So again, I can then, you know, just fix this down. Oops, a little bit more in the middle. Like that. And then I'm just going to glue this one down. Like that. Okay. Oops, just move that slightly because it's a bit crooked. Okay, and then just going to trim this down here on the edge. Dust off the back. Yeah, I quite like how that looks. And then should we just put a little bit of the red ink, I think. So just stamp that off so it's not making red marks all over my desk. Right, I'm going to just pull this in. Oh, this is scary because it's pretty red, isn't it? Where? That's the question. Maybe a little bit up there. Maybe just a tiny bit down here. Yeah, okay. Okay, so love how that looks. So I'm going to stitch them. I mean, obviously I'm now not including the stitching in the 45 minutes. So yeah, we did okay. We have done 5, which I know that Rachel did 5. So I was feeling really kind of like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? And I was heading towards only 2. But we've done 5 now, so feeling quite pleased with my efforts. So I'm going to quickly go and stitch these and then I'll be back. Okay, I am back from the sewing machine, so I'll just kind of show you what I've done. Now, this one, I have to confess, I made a horrible job of sewing it. And you know when you're kind of really trying your best, and then actually you'd have been better off doing it in your same old sloppy, you know, normal methods. That's me anyway. So here, I wanted to really get this as flat as possible, obviously stitching it down this edge. And of course, because I was trying so hard, I've actually stitched it with a complete kind of ridge there, if you can see. So what I've decided to do with this one, because I mean, I still like the look of it. I mean, it's a shame that it's not completely flat, but you know, it's fine. But actually, that then works just like a little pocket on the front of that tag. I mean, maybe that's not ideal for this particular piece because, of course, you know, it's a little bit on the big side. But that I just thought, you know, happy accident, it's now a little pocket tag. So that's the first one. The next one, obviously this one. And, you know, again, I obviously sewed these two or stitched these two with the black thread. Now, you'll notice that none of these tags have got tabs at all. You know, I don't mind a tag without tabs, to be honest. I think it's quite nice, but you know, maybe when I come to use them I would maybe add tabs, but you know, quite possibly not really, to be honest. So this one here, I just stitched with the white thread, as you can see. Love how that looks. Really, really pretty. This one I feel like maybe it could do with a tab, so you know, could maybe kind of add something as a tab. I mean, actually I even quite like that postage stamp just there as a tab, so I might do something like that on there. And then this one here, obviously this was the final one that we did. Love how this looks. Really, really love it. This to me feels quite Barbara, quite 49 Dragonflies. If she watches this, I hope she doesn't mind me saying that, because she might be looking thinking, what, that's nothing like what I would do. But yeah, to me it feels a little bit like one of her pieces, which I love her stuff. So yeah, pleased how that came out. And then this one here, obviously with the pink, just looks really super pretty. And again, I just used the white thread around this one, so I'll just trim that down. So really, really pretty. And yeah, had a great fun time doing them. So thank you so much, Rachel, for the brilliant challenge. Like I say, you know, will probably, hopefully, if you don't mind, just dip in and out, you know, of your challenges, if that's okay. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. Obviously, I will mark the, you know, hashtag, you know, Rachel's weekly challenge. So yeah, if you want to join, I'm sure Rachel would absolutely love it. So thank you so much then, and see you guys soon. Thanks, Anne. Bye.